It is good to be back. Remember that video? Oh, what a load of rubbish it was. Anyway, that's what this video is about. Marko Arnautovic trying to get back to West Ham United. Speaking of being back, I'm back in my usual setup. I've got a decent camera, decent microphone, decent lighting. We're cooking here. Back to work yesterday. Not so good, is it? Back in lockdown. Also not very good. Yes. Not much fun in games, is it, just now, is it? But anyway, Happy New Year to everybody. If you haven't already joined me in a video in 2021, hopefully we can all have a slightly better one. Hopefully West Ham couldn't even win the FA Cup, and hopefully not, see the return of Marko Arnautovic. That's what I want to discuss in this video. Now, there's two sides to me here. There's Gio, the West Ham fan, which is going to include a bit of emotion. And when you make judgments with emotion involved, you tend to make errors. You tend to let your heart dictate, and that's not always the best thing. So we're going to park him for 1 more minute, but I'll get on to him in the second half of the video. I will very much be bringing the West Ham fan in. I'm going to deal with the emotionless part, the logical side to this argument here. Now, rumours are that David Moyes would like Marko Arnautovic back at West Ham United, and it's understandable why. It is completely understandable. When David Moyes was here in his first reign, Marko won Ham of the Year, was the best player that season. Well, actually, that's wrong. He wasn't the best player that season, in my opinion. It was Pablo Zabaleta. The difference is Marko Arnautovic was the best player under David Moyes, but he didn't bother turning up for Slaven Bilic, whereas Zabaleta turned up for both managers. But anyway, that's a different argument. I made that case a few times and not many people agree with me, so I shall just have to... I'm already talking with emotion, haven't I? That worked well. What are we? A minute and 45 in, I've already gone back on it. But... listen, under David Moyes' first reign, Marko Arnautovic was the best player under David. There was no doubt in that. I think he was arguably one of the best players in the league at some points. Not all of it, but some weekends he was just unplayable. He would win points on his own for us. He was a match winner, a game changer. He had all that. The fans loved him. Without him, we struggled with him. He made it look easy sometimes, come up against the best defenders in the league, and he was fantastic. So I can understand why David Moyes would like to bring him back to the club on a short-term period just to see us through till the end of the season. And I always say, I think if the manager wants him, that's who you got to go get. Whether you, David Sullivan, think it's a good idea or not, and I can understand why David Sullivan would think it's a bad idea right now, money and how he treated the club in the past. But if that's who the manager wants, I think you've got to put your differences to one side. You've got to put your own personal grievances to one side and back your manager. Simple as that, really. But the one thing I've got wrong in the past, when speaking about Marko Arnautovic before, I've always said, hang on a minute, this squad at the minute has a really good harmony about it. You can see it in games. The team spirit just shines through. Whenever we win, the happiness, everybody leads the way. We had a little huddle after the game and stuff, and I like stuff like that. I love stuff like that, and I think that's having a massive impact as to why we're doing so well. Whereas in previous season, we've heard there's been a bit of sort of fractures in the dressing room, and we've had bad seasons. Is that a coincidence? Not really. Is it the only reason we've had a bad season? Absolutely not. That comes down to many things. There's a lot of contributing factors, but I do think morale plays a huge part, and I think that's part of the reason why Liverpool have been so good in previous years. I think they've got that togetherness about them as well. And I think I've got this wrong in the past. I've often said why we would take Marko back and risk that dressing room happiness. And I don't necessarily think I've been right in saying that, because he still gets on with the players. The players still get on with him. He posts on their Instagram and vice versa. And I do think there'll be one or two in the dressing room that disagree with how he went about things and whatever, but it doesn't mean they don't like him as a person and stuff. So perhaps I've been wrong to beat him with that stick about the squad morale. I do think there is probably a slight risk to it. Will it improve the squad team spirit? I'm not so sure, but I don't think it'll be as bad as what I've made on in the past. So I think I've got that wrong. But my biggest concern, believe it or not, it's not the money, because I think we'd get over that hurdle pretty quickly. I know it's been touted at the minute about how much money is on in China, but if we wanted him, I don't think Shanghai would have much option, to be honest with you. They've got to play ball because it's closed season over there. So what they're going to do? Continue to pay him large money, or try and get half his wages off the books for the short term and pan him back off to the Premier League. So I don't think the money thing's too much of a bother. We'll use our end to suggest it's why we can't go get him, because we're tight. And there's an element of truth in that. Even half his wages and stuff, he'd still be our biggest earner, which causes a small concern for me. Would you want to bring someone in that's arguably going to be on the bench? and get paid more than anyone else in your squad? Probably not. But that's the other thing. How good is Marko Arnautovic now? How good is he? We don't know. Some people might watch the Chinese league religiously, but I'm sure he's still a good player. But is he the best player? Is he the player that left? I'd be very surprised. He's 32 years old in April, so he's no spring chicken. But my biggest concern is how fit is he, to be honest with you. Their season stopped in mid-November. He's not played a professional game of football for 2 months now. So just how fit is he? How long would it take him to get back to fitness? 5 weeks maybe, or something like that. So he's already missed like half the time he's here for. But I get it. If David Moyes wants him in, I completely get it. I guess the question you've got to ask Marko is, when he was here under David Moyes, he was the main man. Not just the main man up front, he was the main man in the team. We built our 11 by Marko Arnautovic. Now, I would suggest he'd be lucky to get into the starting 11. Certainly initially. Antonio's our main striker now. That's not your position anymore. You're battling now with Sebastian Haller for a place on the bench. Now, I'm sure if Arne come in, we'd be looking to move Haller on to balance the books with the wages and stuff. That's why I don't think finances is too big an issue, by the way, because if Arne came in, I think Haller would be the one that goes, and the wages don't really change too much for West Ham. So that's the logical side of it. But the unlogical side of it, the emotional side, the West Ham fan side, says no chance, piss right off. It still doesn't sit well with me how he left this club. I don't want to see him back at all, really. The only smidgen of me that wants him back is because David Moyes wants him. That's the only thing that sort of changes my mind. It's not even about his ability anymore. It's about how he treated the club. And I've got no issue with someone wanting to leave West Ham at all, for whatever reason it's for. Declan Rice wants to leave to go win trophies. Well, good luck to you, Declan. Do it in the right way. Best of luck. Marko Arnautovic wants to leave because he wants more money. That's all right as well. Just do it in the right way, please. But he didn't. He sort of half refused to play games. We don't know if it's true or not. But that Bournemouth away game, I remember Pellegrini sitting there saying, we can't play Marko Arnautovic, his head's not right or whatever. And there were some people saying he's refusing, and some people were saying he didn't refuse. He's just not in the right place to play. But that's an issue itself. But the biggest issue for me is the fact that he signed a new contract. He took more money from West Ham with very little intention of sticking around. He said, all right, I'll stay. Did this whole video, I am back, I'm happy to be back. While also saying he didn't go anywhere, it contradicts the whole thing. It went up when we got put out the FA Cup by Wimbledon, remember? The media team had it all planned out, didn't they? We'll beat Wimbledon and we'll sneak this out there, but everyone's in a good mood about the FA Cup. No, kick off. Well, everyone's raging about the FA Cup, then all you did was chuck fuel on the fire. But forgetting the media cock up, Marko Arnautovic signed a new contract with us, got paid more money, and left anyway. And in that time, he barely played. And when he did, he was rubbish. He didn't want to be here. I don't want someone like that at the football club, because what's it doing? It's saying to the other players, you want to leave, you can do whatever you want to leave. We'll still have you back. We're not desperate. We're not a desperate club. Last season we were. We were fighting relegation. We were in a desperate situation. We needed goals, we needed points, we needed clean sheets, we needed everything to stay up. We've done it. We stayed up. We don't need that this season. We can afford to not have someone like Marko Arnautovic. We can afford to actually not put a price, whether it's pound notes or points or goals scored. We can afford to not put a price on loyalty to West Ham, to integrity as a human being, if you want. I don't want to see him back at all. I'm a firm no for this transfer. 95% no. The 5% is on the side of David Moyes, which is if he wants him. But I don't believe he's the only striker David Moyes wants. There's alternatives out there. If Josh King's his number one, please go get Josh King. Much I don't like Josh King, I really don't want to see Marko Arnautovic here. It's the main stickling point. Like I said, I've got concerns as on the emotional side of me. Got concerns over his fitness, how good he actually is, the fact he's 32. But the emotional side of me, I just don't want to see someone like this back at the football club. He disrespected West Ham massively. He went about it the complete wrong way. His brother's an absolute twat. Even if he's out the window, I still don't want him back at West Ham. We're better than Marko Arnautovic now. We don't need Marko Arnautovic. David Moyes doesn't need Marko Arnautovic. Don't want to see him here. But what I will say, if he does come, he can change a lot of people's minds, probably including myself, football fans are fickle, but I include myself in that. But I think it's also important that you can change your opinion when you gather more data. And if he was to come in, knuckle down, play well, score goals, win us some points and stuff, I'm sure my stance on him would soften. I'd come round to liking Marko Arnautovic again. Got no doubt about that. But he's not here scoring goals yet. So until then, I don't want him here. Anyway, that's pretty much it. That's my thoughts on Marko Arnautovic. Got quite a lot of content coming up. Charlie's motivated at the minute, I'm motivated at the minute, Gonza's motivated at the minute. I don't know why, considering everything that's going on. We've got a cup of tea tomorrow night. Me and Gonza haven't had a cup of tea for a month and a half, nearly 2 months. We're doing one tomorrow night, 8:30 on the channel, so pop along then if you're free. It'd be nice to have you all in the live chat. I'm going to have a transfer video. The old pink book, it's back. I've missed it. I've been away, didn't take that with me, did I? I messed up, but that's back. So I'll be doing a transfer video on Thursday evening, and we're doing a patron video then. We're doing the mug of tea, which is for patrons. And then Friday night we're going to do Talk West Ham, which is a show where we get people on to have their say on anything West Ham. We get very interactive with the live chat where you put your opinions up. Not your questions, your opinions. Whether it's Marko Arnautovic, Alia, who you want to see us sign, any of that good stuff. Get out in the live chat and we'll have a discussion about your opinions. I'm not sure what time that is, but if you want to be involved, if you're thinking I wouldn't mind coming on that show, all you need is some sort of camera. You can use your phone for this. Email us hammerschat@gmail.com or contact us on Twitter, hammers_chat. Any of those methods, get in touch and we'll get you on the show on Friday night. We'll probably go live at 8:30. We'll just stick to our usual time and go for an hour or something. So you want to come on, you're more welcome. Anyway, I'm going to disappear now. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to you around here. I hope you've all had a lovely festive period and I hope you're all keeping well. If not, please don't hesitate to get in touch with us. The email address is below. I've just read it out. Rewind the video. If there's anything we can do to help you out, just give us a shout. Anyway, take care, look after yourselves, and I'll see you tomorrow night.